you. I can see some people are already responding that they can hear me very well. That's good.
All right. Yeah, we need to check these things, man.
All right. It's better we check it and confirm everything is okay. All right. Attendees are already trooping in, man. Wow. This is good. I can see Susie.
Oh, I can hear you fellas. How are you?
You can bring Susie in. Susie is there.
I'm in.
Hello, how you doing, Susie?
Good, good.
All right.
So we're gonna do the Q&A through the chat and bring people on because I don't see it on the screen. Just as.
Let me see something. I'll wait for Maddie to come in.
Yeah, I don't know if it's in.
Because I tried to disable the chat from the back office, it wouldn't let me. So
yeah,
he
he might be able.
Yeah, it has to be done right here. I think I'll have to wait for Maddie though.
I just want to say hi to Euros. Hello there from Vienna. Good connecting with you. But I'm gonna let Lanre do his thing. Lanre, if you want to see, we've got some people.
Okay, Susie, can I go ahead?
You do what you do. Oh, here comes Marty.
Okay, Marty, how are you, Marty? Yes, Marty. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, founders, you're welcome back into the house. And to the guests, we say we love you more. You are welcome. Nice to have you all. My name remains Lanre Akinremi. Please, if you know of anybody that should be part of today's Zoom webinar, your guest, your friend, please give them a shout out. Remind them that the webinar is opened. They should come in ASAP so that they can be part of the information from the beginning. I'm going to be moderating with Susie today, as always.
Hey.
Let me
Good to see you.
Welcome a few people, then I'll hand it over to Susie when I need to catch my breath. Okay, Maddie, once again, you're welcome. Charles Osong, you're welcome. Abdul Karim, you're welcome. Emanuela, nice to have you in the house. Alexia Yanko, you're welcome. Alicia, you're welcome. Anthony, you're welcome. Augustine, you're welcome. BJ Patel, nice to have you in the house. Bridget, you're welcome. Daniel Ode, you're welcome. Comfort, nice to have you in the house. Chandra Sharma, nice to see you. Edu Mekanen, you're welcome. Eric Kessler, nice to have you in the house. David Russell from USA, you're welcome. Carlos, you're welcome. Okay. Francis Lehman, you're welcome. Isabayo, you're welcome. Jacob, you're welcome. Kisantanti, nice to have you in the house. Mitchell Weaver, you're welcome. Mr. Obeng, nice to have you in the house. George Oatsworth from USA, you're welcome. Cathy Knight from SA, you're welcome. Bridget Nkramsi from USA, you're welcome. Karima, you're welcome. Trevor Peter, nice to have you in the house. Olawale Adegbile, you're welcome. Robert Pierce, nice to have you in the house. Stop, you're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, today is our Mega Saturday guest webinar. Please, this is a guest webinar. Kindly get across to your friends, family, colleagues. Let them know that the webinar is open so that they can come in ASAP. Susie, you want to jump in and start with
yeah, my thing. Hi, everyone. Hi, Charles, Lanre. Hello, Marty. Good to see you today. My name is Susie McCrae, coming to you from Amherst, Massachusetts in the United States. And today you have been invited to our public guest webinar to learn about a business called On Passive. So someone invited you here today, and you're going to want to get back to them and jump on board with the rest of us and become a founding member of this wonderful company. But you're going to learn here more about that today. The way it's going to work is a little after the top of the hour. I'll start introducing some of the speakers. You're going to hear some insight and an overview about OnPassive. What's it all about? A lot of information to digest, but that's okay. Just sit back and listen, and then we're going to open it up to a Q&A, and we'll give you instructions about the Q&A once we open it up for a Q&A. But in the meantime, just enjoy. We are a global company in over 200 countries around the globe. So what you're going to see is you're going to see people in the chat that are already on board as founders from all across the globe. So if you want to shout out, whether you're a guest or a fellow founder, go on down and we'll try to get to everyone and say hello. But remember, founding members, today is for our guests. The Q&A is exclusively for our guests to ask their questions, because as you guys know, we have a private webinar every Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern time, for you to ask your questions. So Lanre, I'm going to let you say hello to a few more people, and then I'll go back and repeat myself a few times.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Susie. It's always nice to partner with you on this. All right, let me quickly run through a bit, then I'll go to the chat room. Brigitte Nkamsi, you're welcome. I can see Shadeko Fakunle in the house, you're welcome. Rain Davis, you're welcome. Sizwe Cindy, nice to have you in the house. Oh, Peter, you're welcome. Sami Ahmed Sikon, you're welcome. Roy, you're welcome. Udom from Nigeria, you're welcome. Tom Rogers, you're welcome. Tim Dinon, nice to have you in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, please, if you know of anybody, your friend, family, colleague, spouse, that should be part of this. This is our mega Saturday guest webinar. Please get your guests, your friend, your loved ones. Please get them into the house. Let them come and listen to this information. This is an opportunity of a lifetime, so that they can make an informed decision at the end of the day. We have our leaders in the house who are experts. They will break this down for us, and it's going to be easy for them to understand. So you don't need to explain it, just bring them to the webinar, and our leaders will do the rest. Momodu Jalo, you're welcome. Mr. Ndiaye, you're welcome. Mr. Obeng, nice to have you in the house. Max Taylor from USA, you're welcome. Mitchell Weaver, you're welcome. Jacob, you're welcome. Francis Lemar, you're welcome. Emily Hamsey Hemley, you're welcome. Godwill, nice to have you in the house. Daniel Ode, nice to have you in the house. Dr. George Biada, nice to have you in the house, sir. Don Croker, you're welcome. Okay, let me run to the chat room and quickly let's see what we have in the chat room. Yes, from Barbara Ann Johnson from Florida, USA says hello. Shadeko Fakunle says hello from Dallas. Nice to hear from you. Thank you. Harry Betsida from Canada say, okay, thank you that you can hear me. Uro Blagotsek, I'm sorry, from Vienna says hello. From Austria, thanks. And I can say Badzil says hello. Bradip Kumar Bala says hi from India. Karima from Algeria. And Lena Makatoyo says, yeah, you're in. And we have Mitchell Weaver says hello from South Carolina, USA. Abdul Karim says hello from Algeria as well. Then from the UK, we have Marvin Lescott says hello. Emanuela from Nigeria says hello. Charles Lendorf says hello. I'm sorry, please. Pardon me. And Glow from Cameroon says hello. Steven from Bermuda says hello. Ruth says hi to everybody in the panel. And Galaxy says Galaxy says hello. Momodu Jalo says hello to everybody from Maryland, USA. If you want me to be able to mention your name, you have to change it. If it's only your device, you may have to change and rename yourself. You know, there are a lot of galaxies. And from Israel, I have Rachel Tesla, says hi. From Canada, we have Kelly, says hello. Steve Rock from Colorado, says hello. Robert from Toronto, nice to have you in the house. But Jess says good morning. And Dr. Bianda says hello to everybody. Francisco de Jesus says from Puerto Rico says hello. Wow, Sister Morgan says hello. Wow, Susan, I think I need to catch my breath. Please, Susie, go ahead, please.
Not only do I love your smile, I love your laugh. I got to tell you, since I've become a founder with On Passive and met all of these wonderful people, what refreshing environment and business to be a part of. That, I mean, I got to say that. I mean, you know, it may sound a little corny, but for God's sakes, this is one of the best environments I've been around in a lifetime. And I'm 60 years old, so I've seen a lot of things. But I knew right away when I was introduced to On Passive that I needed to jump on board as a founding member, because my experience is I'm very tuned in to people and what they're about, and I can read a room quickly. That's one of my expertise. And I had a really good feel about things right away. So I encourage you, welcome guests. You are going to be glad that you came today to hear about a business called On Passive. So you're going to want to get back to the person who invited you, because the only way you can become a founding member is invitation only. So invitation only. This isn't a webinar where we're going to pressure, pester, or try to convince you to become a founding member, because quite frankly, we don't need to do that. We want people who even catch a piece of the vision that this company has. You jump on board and you just keep learning. If you want to learn more about it, you'll learn more that this can also be a passive business. And this business is for everyone, whether you've been online before, whether you've owned a business or before, that does not matter. So I want to welcome all the guests. And the way it's going to work today is a little after the hour, 5 after the hour. We're going to open up. I'll introduce our first speaker, and then you're going to get an overview of On Passive. And after that, we're going to open it up to Q&A. And today's Q&A is for our guests only. We love all the founding members who come on these webinars to learn more themselves and to be part of the chat and to welcome people. We love having you here. But today is our public guest webinar, and we want to save the Q&A for their questions, because as you know, we have a private Q&A every Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern time, and every question gets answered there. So please, when we get to the Q&A, don't be shy, guests. We'll tell you how to do the Q&A when we get closer, and we would love to have your questions. As Lon Ray said, the panel today is loaded with experience. Charles, who is joining us, has an extensive IT background. Marty's been online, Mike Ellis. They have years of experience seeing just about everything, and they will not be stumped by any of your questions. I can promise you that. So today is about you, guests. It's about you sitting back, digesting what you hear. Don't worry if you don't get everything 100%. That's okay. But like I said, if you catch a piece of the vision like we have, then I encourage you to get back to the person who invited you and jump on board. So I'm going to give it back to you, Lon Ray. We have about 4 more minutes before we get started. I see Mike Ellis is here. I don't see his face, but I know he's here with us and he'll be joining us soon. So go ahead, Lanre, if you want to say hello to more of our friends. Thank you.
Yes, thanks, Susie. We've got 4 minutes to do this. I'll take 3 out of it and cede 1 to you to do yours. So let me run through the list again. Alicia, you're welcome. Alice Famukong, you're welcome. I can see Etel is in the house. Etel, you're welcome. Bajesh, you're welcome. Bernardine Ekenya, nice to have you in the house. Anthony Bonaparte, you're welcome. Charles Aze from Lagos, Nigeria, you're welcome. Charles Ogabula, you're welcome. Connie, nice to have you in the house. Dara Cook, you're welcome. I can say Diana Biswas, nice to have you in the house. Dr. Muhinda Kausi, you're welcome. Dr. Rama Lou Yadav, you're welcome. Eduma Kamden, once again, you're welcome. Evangelist Palmer, nice to have you in the house. Fire Tablets, you're welcome. All the Galactics, you're all welcome. Nice to have you in the house. Renata, you're welcome. And John Menkefo, nice to have you in the house. James Gibson, nice to have you in the house. Larry Lacroix, nice to see you in the house. You're welcome. Karen, you're welcome. Maria Tanamwok, you're welcome. Lloydia, you're welcome. Mr. Ndiaye, nice to have you in the house. Bridget Nkamsi, nice to have you in the house once again. Ruth, you're welcome. Sebastian Eppa, nice to have you in the house. Patty, you're welcome. Paul Debon, nice to have you in the house. Okay, let me use the remaining 1 minute of mine to go through to the chat room and let's acknowledge a few people. Yes, Rose, as ever, thank you, Rose, for what you do in the background. You're welcome from South Africa. Nice to have you, South Africa in the house. And Tendo Frank says, hello, leaders. Thank you. Dara Cook says, hello. Sami Ahmed Sukhan says he's a pastor from Bangladesh. Nice to have you in the house. And Perry Moore from Chicago, Illinois, you're welcome. Elizabeth Leary from UK, you're welcome. Anthony, nice to have you in the house. Mohammed Sharif says, hello, Susie, and all the LC member. Thank you. Keith Moss, you're welcome. And Etel says, it's a very lively place to be, being one of the founders. Greetings to everyone. Etel from Atlanta, Georgia, nice to have you in the house. Okay, John Menkefo from Cameroon says hello to everybody. Cameroon in the house. And from Nigeria too, we have Afida Semati, you're welcome. Kevin Rutledge from Illinois, you're welcome. I think I'm at the top of my time now to give it back to Susie. Susie, it's all yours.
Thank you, Lanre. Like I said, I love your smile. I love your laugh and your enthusiasm. So thank you. Welcome, everybody. We're going to get started in about a minute or so. My name's Susie McCray, coming to you from Amherst, Massachusetts in the United States. You're an attendee today for this webinar, and you'll see there's panelists here on the screen. And today you are going to hear about a business called On Passive, and we're going to have a few speakers. And at the end, we will be doing a Q&A, and we'll give you instructions at that time about the Q&A. Just a reminder, this is a company in over 200 countries around the globe. So you're going to see in the chat and people, panelists from all over the globe here, but today is for our guests. So sit back, I'm going to introduce our first speaker, and sit back and digest. Keep in mind, whether you've been online before, whether you have a business or not, you're going to find very soon that this business was created for all of us. So if you catch just a little piece of the vision like the rest of us founders have, we encourage you to get back to the person who invited you, and because the only way you can become a founder is through invitation. So Charles, if you want to start the recording, I'll introduce our first speaker today.
Sure, let me do that.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so welcome everyone. I'd like to introduce to you Marty DeGarmo. He comes to us from the state of New Jersey in the United States. And Marty's background was he had over 17 years in the corporate world as a project manager. He's traveled the globe. He's worked in that position, like I said, for over 17 years. And then after that, he got into online marketing and online programs. And he's been doing that for well over 15 years. years. So Marty has tremendous insight about what's going on online, things he's done, things he's tried, and he has a lot of wisdom. So I'd like to introduce Marty. He's going to share his story with you. So enjoy, everybody, and once again, welcome to this public guest webinar. Okay, Marty, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Susie. Great job, you and Lauren. Absolutely fantastic. Welcome, everybody. Here Saturday, 5th of June, believe it or not. The year is half over almost. Today is your lucky day, I believe. I believe you'll feel the same way when it's over. Today, we're going to introduce to you a business that I've been looking for since 2004, guaranteed. I started off online, like I said, 2004. I wanted to make a little extra money and joined a business. I can't even tell you which one it was. I've been in so many of these so-called opportunities, like most people that have been online for any amount of time. And I found in the beginning, as most people here, that it's not quite what they say it is. Building wealth online, it took me a few years to realize it's not who you follow, it's what you know. And I followed a lot of people. I did what I was told to do, but it's just always the same people are successful, and a very large amount, 97, 98%, lose money. Actually lose money. That was me. Well, about 7, 8 years into it, finally dawned on me that I got to learn how to market or get out. I learned how to market a little bit, could build teams, and thank God I met up with Mike Ellis and Dan Street, and we could market and we could build teams. And it was pretty cool to be on the other end. But what happened very quickly is you find out that you build a team, you get in the business, you build a team, and you can't bring anybody with you because they can't do what took you full time to learn. And they are where you were when you started. So you're like, oh my God. So, you can't duplicate what you're doing. I tried. Maybe a few people you can, but even then, there's no money there. You can't make any money. And the other really bad part of it, even if it was a half decent business, which in most cases something was wrong. Either the math didn't add up or the auto ship was so expensive, people had to quit because they couldn't afford it. Now, if they made enough money, you would buy the auto ship. All of it, all the disasters, getting up the next day and the company's not even there, or you get in and you got to bring people in faster and they quit. And they're not quitting because their why isn't big enough or their dream isn't big enough. They're quitting because they're not making any money. Let's get down to the facts. That's what has been going on in the industry for years. Well, 2 years ago, I ran into this company called Unpassive that you're going to be introduced to today. And I asked pretty simple questions. Can I make money with this? Yes. Can the people I bring in make money with it? Yes. Is there limits to how much you can make? No. So I bring people in, they don't need any special skills. No. Is there an auto ship? No. Are the products in high demand? Yes. Digital, sold for millions and millions of dollars today. I went, I'm in. And then what you're going to hear is I got in with Mike and Dan Street, obviously the same day. And every day from that, since then, which is 2 years ago, March, I've learned more and more about this company, and more do I realize this is the best thing that's ever happened to me and anybody I've introduced it to. First time in my life, I can look in people's eyes and say, come with me and you'll be successful. And everybody here will be successful. But to explain this business in much better detail and clearer than me is Mr. Charles Olsong. He's got like 30 years experience in the AI field and artificial intelligence, and he has worked in the computer field for, like I said, 30 years, and he has a ton of experience. He saw this for what it was, especially with his background, and he's going to explain to you why this is the best thing that came along since I've ever seen in him also. He's also got 20, 30 years experience offline, very successful. So he's going to explain it. And remember, when he's all done and whatever you hear today, keep in your mind 100% automated and everything is done for you. Okay. But he's going to get into details so we can see how powerful this company really is. Charles, go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, Marty. Always a pleasure. Thank you, Larry, Susie, for introducing our guest. Always a pleasure working with great minds. I appreciate you guys. I want to welcome the founders who are coming back today, and especially our guests, because you are in for a treat, like Marty says. I am going to be talking to you today about this once in a lifetime kind of opportunity, I can assure you. And the way I do that is I tell you my story, right? So Marty just summarized his little story, and I'm going to be telling you mine in a greater length. But because Mark Twain once said, as long as you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. So I will just be telling you the truth, the way it is. So like Marty said, I have been in the IT industry for a very long time. And during that time, I've always looked for other ways to make money, especially passive residual income. I ran into the works of Mr. Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest people in the world, a long time ago. And he said, if you don't find a way to make money in your sleep, you will work until you die. So I've always looked for ways to make money. Now, about just over 4 years ago, I decided to stop working for corporate America. So I tendered my resignation. I recall a colleague of mine looking at me and saying, Charles, you're very fortunate. You must have saved up a lot of money to be retiring this early. And I said to him, on the contrary, I have been working so long, but haven't been able to save up the kind of money that I would love to. And so there's got to be another way. I remember Robert Einstein saying, you keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That is his definition of insanity. So I bought into his notion of insanity. Okay, I stopped working, got myself an office in Maryland in the United States. And just over 2 years ago, a friend of mine, trusted friend of mine, by the way, walked into my office and said to me, Charles, I want to share with you this opportunity. Now, just so you know, prior to retiring, I had been studying rigorously the behavioral patterns of successful people. And one of them is simple. You bring them an opportunity, they will take a look at it first before making a decision. So their decision is informed. So I pretended to be one of them that day. I told my friend, yes, I will take a look at it. But first, I had 3 questions for you to answer. Question number 1, this opportunity that you are bringing to me today, am I going to be able to make money if I cannot recruit? If I cannot sell to even one person, am I still going to make money? And when I say money, I mean real money, okay? Enough money to give me financial freedom. Now remember, I had retired, so I had time freedom. But I was still in search of the ever elusive financial freedom. Because when you have both, that's when you say you have total freedom. So I asked my friend, with this opportunity, if I cannot recruit, am I going to be able to make the kind of money that will give me the time freedom that I so badly need? The financial freedom that I so badly need. And he said to me, Charles, believe me, it's going to give you enough money to leave a legacy for your children, your children's children. That sounded like music to my ears. And I asked him, I said, well, let's go to question number 2. With this opportunity, am I going to have to come out of pocket every month to pay some bill? Month in, month out. In the industry, they call it ownership. Will I have to pay a monthly ownership out of my pocket? And he said to me, Charles, nope. Once this company launches, that's it. You come out of pocket once and you're done. After that, money is a one-way traffic from them to your bank account. I found it hard to conceal my excitement at that point. But I needed one last question to be answered. The last, but certainly not the least. So I asked him, does this company have legitimate, viable products? Now, by legitimate, I mean legal. By viable, I mean necessary. Something that mankind needs, you and I, every day. And believe me, how did I come about this question? Towards the end of 2016, when I knew for a fact that I was going to start working for corporate America. Okay, I coined those previous two questions, but the third one was not there. And I landed on some opportunities online, making serious money, investing. And all of a sudden, all of these companies started going out of business. They took a nosedive. So I had to think about it. I had to do something that successful people do so well. They fail forward. And failing forward simply means if you fall down once, you get up once. If you fall down 10 times, you get up 10 times. You look at what went wrong. Why did you fail? And then you move forward with experience. And upon examining all these different companies that I was involved with, I realized one thing in common. All of them, not even one of them had a legitimate, viable product. So that became my third question. So when I asked my friend that day, he said to me, Charles, with your extensive IT background, you will be able to understand these products better than me. I said, no problem. I went, took a look at the products, came back to him, and I said, my friend, should this company succeed in what they're trying to do, we are going to have a shake-up of the internet. We are going to have an internet quake. But I also told him, we're going to have to wait for some time, maybe 4 years, maybe 5, before this thing is realized. He didn't like that. He said to me, Charles, why would you say that? And I answered him, you told me to take a look at the products. I did. And I understand what they're doing. They're using artificial intelligence, AI for short, in every step of the development process. Now, AI is a disruptive technology. And what do I mean by that? One that comes every once in a while and will change the way we do things. We have no choice. AI is yet the most disruptive technology mankind has ever known. But AI is very involved. It involves machine learning. It involves empirical data. It involves millions upon millions of lines of coding. And if you're in IT, you'll agree with me, that is time consuming. So I told my friend, we're going to have to buckle up and simply enjoy the roller coaster. But I also told him, I don't care how long we have to wait. I want to be part of this company right now. I had something called FOMO, fear of missing out. I had missed out on a few opportunities earlier on in my life, and I wasn't going to miss out on this one. Not for any length of time and not at any cost. So I asked him, how much is it going to cost me if I wanted to be part of this company today? And I was thinking some huge amount of money, maybe 20K or even more. And I was ready. I had my credit card with me. Fortunately, in the United States, we do not need cash. All you need is credit card, plastics. And I had a few of those. When my friend looked up at me and said, Charles, believe it or not, all you need is $97. $97. Needless to say, I was flabbergasted. I was speechless. And I said to him, you've got to be kidding. He said, nope, I'm dead serious. And I said, okay, well, here's my credit card. By the time we were done, it costed me $102. So yes, there is a $5 fee that banks will charge you for credit or debit card handling. Big deal. I told him, consider that dinner for two. But I also told him, I do not have 5 years to be monitoring this business. So do me a favor, call me, text me, email me. Do whatever it takes to get me informed so I can get more involved when they're closer to launch. 8 months later, he gave me a call. Charles, can you make yourself available in a week's time? The CEO of this company wants to talk to all of us. And I said, sure. 1 week later, I hop on the call. And there was Mr. Ash Mofara. Mr. Ash Mofara is the CEO of this company, the founder. Mr. Ash Mofara, for those of us who have been here for a while, we've come to know and love him dearly. Not only because he's going to help us make money, and I can assure you he will, plenty of it, but also, and more importantly, because of his heart for humanity. My friends, there are quite a few geniuses out there. Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, just to name a few. Jeff Bezos, there are many of them. These guys all have the brains, but do they have the heart? As you come to join on Passive, you will find out. Not only does our CEO have the brains, but he also has the heart. And that is why a lot of us leaders resonate with him. But mind you, I was listening to him for the first time ever. And he came on and he said, folks, we have been making a lot of progress. In fact, we are closer to launch. My friends, I have to confess, that statement threw me off. I was wondering. It was just 8 months earlier, I told my friend, we're going to have to wait for a long time. Now, all of a sudden, this dude is telling us we are closer to launch. Whom is he kidding? So he got my attention, and I was listening keenly. And then he went on, and he said, we have hired a building in Bangalore, in India. Now, if you look at me, you're going to see a building that says on Passive. This building is in high-tech city. It's in Hyderabad. This building, we acquired this building early December 2020. So at the time, this building was non-existent. Mr. Mofara had gone to Bangalore. He had at least 2 floors in a high-rise building, and he went on and he said, we have hired 200 engineers, and these guys are working day and night to make sure our dream is realized. Well, in my head, I'm thinking most startup companies are going to have 20 to 25 engineers. Most startup companies are going to have these engineers work 8, 9, maybe 10 hours a day. I know, because I've been part of a few of those. But Mr. Mofara goes to the source. And when I say source, for those of you who are in IT, you're going to agree with me that Indians are the best in the game. He goes to the source. He did not get 20 or 25 engineers. He got 200 of them. And they're not working 8, no, not 9, not 10 hours a day. These guys are working around the clock. These guys are working 24/7. These guys are taking turns to make sure this baby is born. So in my head, I'm beginning to think, yes, with this kind of a resource, you are able to cut time frames. Yes, with this kind of a resource, you are able to do in 2 or 3 years what is supposed to take 4 or 5 years. So my belief factor goes up, off the roof. I look back at the time, money, energy spent from the time I joined until then, and I realized this is no longer a joke. This is that time I told my friend to call me, email me, text me to get involved. I said, I'm going to have to roll up my sleeves. I'm going to have to spread the word. Okay? Well, Mr. Mofara went on. He said one more thing that day. He said, guys, we have some founding members, you and I, just like you and I, and they have been unethical. And we are going to come up with a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA for short. When you see those NDAs, please sign them up. It's the only way you can participate with this great company. 2 months later, he called another meeting, NDAs are out. I went back, took a look at that document, very lengthy document, and I said to myself, I am going to get on board ASAP. I called a few friends to my office, and I said, my friends, we need to spread the word. We need to get people involved. Those who have ears can hear. Those who don't, we have done our part. And we decided on Zoom. Thanks to technology, with Zoom, all you need is a smart device. It can be a smartphone, a laptop, an iPad. and you need internet access, data, as you guys call it in Africa. So we started doing our Zoom meetings. Now, what is this company I'm talking to you about? OnPassive. Again, it's behind me. You can see it. The name is just what it is. It's a passive opportunity. Okay, our CEO and founder, Mr. Mofara, that I mentioned to you, has a master's degree in e-commerce, information technology. He went back to Harvard, did some more studies on online businesses. This guy has a knack for artificial intelligence, AI, that disruptive technology I just mentioned to you guys. This guy is the best. He's a guru when it comes to traffic generation. What is traffic? My friends, traffic is the reason I can dream today. Traffic is the reason I can invite you all to dream with me today. So let's spend a couple minutes talking about traffic because it is that important. Traffic is a fundamental element in any business. It doesn't matter whether this business is offline or online. But I know most of us have an age. We are more used to offline businesses. So let's talk about offline traffic before we go to online traffic. Okay, so let's say you have a business offline, and it can be any business. It can be a car dealership. It can be a restaurant. It can be a barber shop. But I want it to be a restaurant only because I love food and I know we all eat. Okay, so you have a restaurant and I have a restaurant. Same kind of restaurant, same kind of food, same chef. Everything tastes identical. Only difference, location. Your restaurant is located in a busy area, in a shopping mall. People come in and out all the time. My restaurant is located in a back alley. It is hidden. Yours is going to fare better than mine, and here's why. People are going to come to that shopping mall, minding their own business, to do their hair, their nails, window shopping, whatever it is that brings them to that shopping mall. They will eventually get hungry. You will look up, spot your restaurant, wander into your restaurant, and the end result of that is what? Sales. My restaurant, on the other hand, is going to suffer. People are going to have to know that it is there. People are going to have to leave their homes deliberately to go there. Because of that, it suffers. It suffers from what? Traffic. So what then is traffic? Customers, people coming in and out of your business. That's it. Now, what about traffic online? But before I go there, I want to say this. In this digital day and age, if you have a business offline, such as the restaurant, you better get yourself an online presence. Otherwise, you will be smoked by your competition. So what am I saying in essence? Yes, we do have hundreds of millions of businesses offline. But as many of those businesses that we have offline, we have even more online, billions of them. And all of these businesses online, they thrive on traffic too. No traffic, they are dead. So what is online traffic? My friends, it's as simple as clicks. You have a business online, the first thing that needs to happen for you to get a sale, someone has to click on it. No clicks, no sales. The more the clicks, the more the sales. So there are people online, businesses online, all they do is make serious money by driving traffic to all these billions of businesses. A typical example, Google. And then we have something called targeted traffic. What is targeted traffic? Say you go online to shop for a TV, and somebody comes behind you and say, why don't you go to charlesoson.com? The moment you go there, guess what you see? TVs of all sorts, all kinds, all colors, all prices. What are the chances of you buying? Very high. Well, guess what? That store just got itself a targeted traffic. So our CEO and founder, Mr. Ash Mofara, that I just mentioned to you guys a few moments ago, he is the best in the game of driving targeted traffic. And that's why I say because of traffic we can dream. He proved himself. Upon graduation, he joined a few companies, drove serious traffic to them, affiliates, customers. Yes, he made some millions doing that. And these companies made a lot of money too. But most of them went out of business. Why? Remember, I told you guys in the beginning, no legitimate viable products. Any company is just a time bomb. It's a matter of time. So Mr. Mofara and his family, notably his wife, who is also in IT, they're going to sit down and say, you know what? We need to stop sending customers, people, to businesses that will eventually go out. We're going to start our own. We're going to have some legitimate, viable digital services. We're going to have founding members, you and I. We're going to drive traffic to them. They will make money. We'll make money. Everybody is happy. Hence, the birth of OnPassive. So just over 3 years ago, and I said 3 years ago, mark you, because there was no pandemic at the time. That is important. These guys were just visionaries. Just over 3 years ago, Mr. Mofara and his friends are going to sit and say, you know what? We have about 7.7 billion people on Earth. And at any point in time, statistics show that 7 million of them are online doing something, looking for some services. Now, 3 years ago, 7 million, every minute, what do you think is going to be today? Well, maybe multiply that by 10, maybe more. But 7 million at that time, still a lot. What are these people looking for? What kind of services do they want so that we can provide them? Well, I do know. Online banking is one of them because I do it every day, sometimes twice a day. And I do know some of you do that also. And when we do these things, there are people, businesses online that monetize on our services. So these guys are going to say, you know what? Here's one of them. With AI, we can do it even better. Some of us online are on our favorite social media platform, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. I love Facebook. But when we are on Facebook, what are we doing? We are exchanging texts, photos to friends, family members, colleagues, classmates. Guess what that is called? Community. And these guys are going to say, you know what? With AI, we can have our own community even better. And as you come to join us, you're going to find out, as of today, our community is over 686,000 and growing by the second. Some of us online are doing e-commerce, drop shipping, email marketing, bulk emailing. Do you guys know that there are people online making 6- and 7-figure income just doing email marketing? Yes, I know that. I thought about that once upon a time. And these guys are going to say, with AI, we can do it even better. Some of us online are doing what we call video conferencing, just like you and I, video conferencing. So if you can see me, you can hear me, or both, it means you went to some application called Zoom, put in an ID, and there you are. Well, believe it or not, Eric Wan, the founder of Zoom, and his colleagues are making a lot of money. They're monetizing on our services as we speak. And Zoom is not the only one. We have Skype, we have AnyMeeting, we have Cisco WebEx, we have Google Hangouts, we have Microsoft Teams, we have a plethora of more than 25 of them, making serious money, especially since the pandemic. But guess what? Zoom is the most popular among all of this. Why? Because they are the most user-friendly. But not for long. You guys wait. You wait until you see OnPassive's webinar platform. We call it O Connect. Those of us who have been founders for some time, we've been fortunate enough to get a sneak peek of it. The images are clearer, 3D. It is more secure, end-to-end encrypted. It is scalable. It is faster. And above all, guess what? It is cheaper. And OnPassive is going to help us monetize. But let's focus on Zoom for today because we are still in pre-launch. It's still their day. Prior to COVID-19, Zoom was averaging 10 million participants a day. Okay? Same company took a statistic. April 1st, 2020. That number had risen to over 300 million participants a day. November 30th, 2020, Forbes magazine reported Zoom as having made more profits than ExxonMobil, the decades-old American oil company. My friends, do you know why? Ever since the advent of COVID-19, Zoom has become super, super popular. Every university, high school, middle school, elementary school, asking students to take classes virtually. I have seen pastors, men of God, women of God, having virtual Bible services. I have seen virtual bookkeeping, virtual graduation. The world is going virtual, and OnPassive is simply going to help us monetize. Let's talk about another service, virtual private network, VPN. What is that? Sounds like a mouthful. It is just a fancy name for a tunnel that cuts across a major network such as the internet, provides for privacy. Employers use it so that their employees can have privacy. Their employees can access corporate data without fear of bad guys, without fear of hackers. Ever since the advent of COVID-19, more and more companies asking employees to work from home. Facebook, Twitter, even the federal government. So guess what? Somebody is monetizing. These guys are OnPassive. They're going to say, with AI, we can have our own VPN. End-to-end encrypted, more scalable, clearer, and above all, guess what? Cheaper. My friends, I can assure you, when OnPassive launches, the big players in the VPN space, like Cisco Networks, they are going to know there is a new sheriff in town. Let's talk about another service. Search engine optimization, SEO. That's the main product of Google. What is that? We know of search engines. We know of Yahoo. We know of Bing. And if you're an Apple enthusiast, you must know of Safari. But everybody knows of Google. It is so popular, it's like a verb these days. There's something, Google it. I mean, you can go to Google 10 times a day, 20 times a day, 100 times a day, free of charge. You can go to Google, you get 1 Gmail account, 10 Gmail accounts, 100 of them, free of charge. You go to Facebook, do whatever you want to do, free of charge. So all these companies, these high-tech companies, they're all free. You go to YouTube, free. Yet, they are multi-billion-dollar companies. Now, here's a multi-billion-dollar question I've got for you. How do they make money? Most of us don't know, and frankly, most of us don't even care because we think it's none of our business. But let me tell you the main way that Google makes money. Why? Because OnPassive is going to help us make money the same way. You go to Google to search for something, and it can be anything. It doesn't matter what it is. But let's just say it is a camera, only because I market my cameras through Google. A bunch of them will pop up, and one of them is from my store. You click on that camera from my store, you just costed me money. You don't have to buy it. They call it pay per click. So what does Google say? The customer markets something through us, and somebody comes looking for that item. We are going to optimize our search, bring it to the top so that they can see it. Once they see it, our job is done. And if you can imagine, I'm a small business person online, very, very small, almost insignificant online. Yet, I'm paying Google about $400 averagely every month. I'm also paying Microsoft every month, about $600. Why am I paying Microsoft? Simple. Bill Gates is smart. He knows SEO is going to be big. Did not have time to start a brand new company, but an existing company called Bing, revamped it, and businesses, small or large, pay him every month. I'm also paying a company called GoDaddy yearly. For what? Domain name service. OnPassive, every company online has to have a domain name, and therefore somebody is providing that service. Well, OnPassive is going to help us do that as well using AI. OnPassive is going to have our own search engine optimizer, super, super smart, so intelligent. By the time you type the first character, it already knows where you are headed. Let me tell you this, my friends. When OnPassive launches, the big players in this space like Google, Microsoft, they are going to know there is a new kid on the block. What am I doing, guys? All I'm doing is simple. I am giving you a list of the services that OnPassive is putting together. The ones that we use every day, whether we know it or not, whether we realize it or not. The ones that we can relate to. And there are more than 50 of them. Virtual educational platform like Academy, human resource platform, accounting platform, Academy, many of them, all together in one place. So what is OnPassive doing? OnPassive says, if you are a business person, small or large, you're an individual, you need something online, something digital, we have got it for you, all in one place, under one umbrella. In IT, we call it single sign-on. And here's a big word to take home today, my friends. They are integrated. Integrated. No company on earth up to this point has ever succeeded in integrating all of this. Well, guess what? OnPassive, we are 99% there. So my friends, this is value. I told you guys earlier, you don't have to recruit to make money. You don't have to come out of pocket month in, month out to pay some bill. And above all, you have legitimate, viable digital services. You're going to be hard pressed to find all three of this in one place. And if you do, you call me and I will be your first customer. Believe me. Now, with all this value, I told you guys earlier, when my friend came to me, it cost me $97 to become a founder. How much is it going to cost you today? Fortunately for you, it is still $97. But not for long. In a matter of weeks, we are going to be getting into our soft launch. And what is soft launch? A period when we, the founders, we're going to be beta testing the products. But before we officially get there, that price is going up. So if you're here and you're not yet a founder, get back to whoever invited you so you can become a founder and save yourself some dollars, right? Richard Branson, CEO of Virgin Atlantic, he said, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity, but you don't understand it, jump on it and then begin to understand it later. And by the way, that $97 is refundable within 30 days. You come in, you don't like it, well, just say, I want my money back. Now, you pay $97, what happens next? My friends, if this is your first time here, sit back, relax, get a sip of water, because this is the key to this presentation. When OnPassive launches, there will be no more founders. That position is shut. Okay? We are going to start getting customers. The AI traffic goes to work, bringing in customers. And when these customers come in, they're going to be paying a subscription. Subscription for what? All those services that OnPassive is putting together, and I told you more than 50 of them, we have one bundle for it, for one small price of how much? Around $250. So that's what the customers are going to be getting. But here's the juicy part. We, the founders, we are going to be the company's first customers. We, the founders, we're going to be a product of the product. So upon launch, public launch, we're going to come in and come out of pocket one time for the subscription of around $250, one time only. Now, subsequently, the company is going to pick up the tabs from our profits. So month after month, we are going to be paid. The subscription is going to be paid from our profits, and the balance we can take home. It has never happened before, my friends. Yes, it is happening. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to hand over to Ms. Susie McRae, okay, one of our leaders in the Leadership Council, to elaborate on how you can become a founder and just give you a few pointers before we move on. Hello, Susie, go ahead.
Well, Charles, what an excellent presentation. And you covered it all. And there is a lot of information, you guys, but absolutely, you can become a founder, and it's through invitation only. So you need to get back to the person who invited you. And as Charles said, It's $97, and if you use a credit card, which we recommend, there's a $5 processing fee. So for $102 once out of pocket, you can become a founding member of OnPassive and start smiling with hope in the future for you and your family. And then, like Charles said, when we do launch officially to the world, you will pay another time out of pocket. And after that, no more out of pocket. Your monthly subscription will be paid by the company from the profits that you have earned. I mean, how great is that? The reason why I jumped on board right away was the fact that OnPassive is going to do all of the marketing, advertising, create all the products, add new features, add new products, handle customer service, handle troubleshooting. Susie doesn't have to do that. I was like, wow, this is unbelievable. So if you've only caught a piece of our vision, we highly recommend that you jump on board right away. The other great part is you can be passive, meaning you can jump on board and just let the company do the work for you. Or you can be engaged. And by being engaged, we mean start sharing this with other people who you know would want to be founding members. Bring them on board now before we launch, because after that, there will be no other opportunity for founding members. And the great thing is your position is willable so that you can create a family legacy. I mean, how that is just unbelievable that we are allowed to do that. So what that means is that you can become a founding member. You can start learning more about the business. And when we launch, you can start creating your own family legacy. I know that our family is doing that. We have ideas on how we're going to do all of that. So this is an opportunity to be part of something bigger than yourselves. Plug in, engage, and understand that our CEO, Ash Mufareh, is sharing with his founding members. He calls us partners with him. And his vision is that once we fill our tank, take care of what we need to take care of financially, we're going to all give back and help humanity and help people in more need. And how great is that? So this is, Charles, did you want to talk about NDA, or should we go right into the Q&A? Because Red's not here today.
So I mentioned the NDA in the presentation that we're going to have an NDA. So I guess Mike Ellis, if you want to say something about that, go ahead so that someone else can speak.
Yeah, the NDA is very, very simple. As you come in and you get a registration link from the person that invited you here, and you come into OnPassive, pay the $97. As you go into your back office, an NDA will pop up, and you need to go down to the bottom, click 2 boxes and sign it. Obviously, we recommend you read it, but you can do that now or you can do it later. That will be in your back office. But the only way to get into the back office is to sign the NDA at the bottom, and you can do that with your mouse. And it doesn't have to be pretty. Mine isn't. It looks horrible. But make sure you sign the NDA. And also what that does for you as OnPassive goes into the soft launch, they're actually going to start building your team for you, but you have to sign that NDA in order for OnPassive to start building your team as soon as we go into the soft launch. So as you come in and join, pay the $97, just make sure you sign that NDA, and from there, you're just golden. So go ahead, Susie.
Oh, okay, wonderful. So what we're going to do right now is I do have a question in the chat that I'm going to read for the panel. And after I read that, if you have your hand raised, the Q&A is for guests only. So if you're a current founder, unless you just joined us in the last day or so, the Q&A is for our guests only. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you on to the screen. So your screen's going to get a little funny at first, then you're going to come on and you'll be allowed to unmute yourself and also to take the video, put it on so that we can see you. If you're shy, by all means, you can ask your question in the chat, and we'll do our best to get back to you on those. So if you raise your hand.
Based on
yeah,
that,
go ahead.
Before I forget, I just want to make an announcement. On Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern, we are going to have a session, Q&A session for founders only. In other words, first we're going to give you updates where we are in the launching process, and then we're going to take your questions until every question is answered, okay? So founders, like Susie just said, please, let's yield our time for the guests so that they can understand it. I see we have about 460 participants right now, and I'm hoping that we have quite a few guests here right now. So let's yield our time to them. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Susie.
Okay, Charles, thank you. So I'm going to read off a question and then bring in a few people. What is the revenue target of the company for the first full year of operations? What if the company is not able to achieve its revenue target? And this question comes from Anoma. So who would like to answer that? Mike, it looks like you're ready.
I'll take that, Susie, if that's okay. Yeah. You know, this is real life. We can't project what OnPassive is going to do the first year. We think we know what's going to happen. But as far as the actual revenue that's going to be coming in the first year, we don't know. What I can tell you, which will give you an idea of what OnPassive is going to be doing the first year, we know that as OnPassive goes into the hard launch, they launch globally to the world. We know that as soon as OnPassive launches to the world, they will be a unicorn company, a company that has a value of over $1 billion. And to understand the impact of that, you have to understand that's never been done in the history of business. Not only that, but no company has ever launched to the world and been a unicorn company in a year. OnPassive is doing this the first day they launch. They will be a unicorn company. And from there, you can kind of extrapolate where they might be in 365 days. But as far as giving you an exact number where we're going to be at the end of 1 year, we can't do that. It's real life. I might give you a number and it might be way, way above that, or it might be below it. But if you look at what we're doing, what's going to happen day one, we're in a really, really good place as OnPassive moves forward, because we know the products of OnPassive are superior at a lower price point. Believe me, I've been online 15 years. If you have a superior product at a lower price point, people will run into OnPassive. And how many people? We project 100 million will come in the first year as customers. That's just a projection. Can't guarantee it. You know, that's kind of what the traffic guys are thinking. So as far as the revenue goes, kind of extrapolate where we'll be after day one, coming in as a unicorn company. And as far as the exact number of the revenue or the revenue target, really can't go there. So that's it.
Let me add something too. Here's something you got to keep in mind. Look at the value. Zoom is doing well, $139 billion last year. Okay, if you look at the value that OnPassive offers, this Zoom that you're on right now costs about $8,000 a month. They're going to be able to get a package like this that is unlimited with 49 other products for $250. Maybe we won't make it, but then that means Zoom is going to fold, and a lot of these other companies, they're being sold right now. Where are people going to go? They're going to go to the value. The value is this is untouchable. It's absolutely untouchable. That's the power of this. How much? How many? I don't know. But if I was looking online and I could go here for $250 and get 50 top-notch products, unlimited amount of people, or I could go on Zoom and pay 10 grand a month, you know, I don't have to be Jack Frost to tell it's a snow job, right? But keep in mind the value is a big, big deal.
Okay, thank you, Marty. I've brought 3 people on. We have Gail Yolander. Gail, if you'd like to unmute yourself and ask your question to the panel. Gail Yolander, if you go down to the microphone. Hi, Gail.
Me. I'm here. Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you for joining us.
And I think it's a wonderful platform I just wanted to clarify those $250 and $500 levels. Is that an annual or a monthly for founders?
Okay, who would like to answer that question? Mike, go for it.
Yeah, there's only one membership level. There's not a 250, there's not a $500 level. We think as we come in and become members of OnPassive, the founding members come in, as we launch to the world, we come in by the membership level. It will be one fee, and that fee we think is going to be right around $250, give or take. And that's the only fee you'll pay. There's not a 500, there's not a 250. It's one fee. As we launch to the world, the founders will come in, pay that fee, and that is a one-time payment, because the rest of the months moving forward will be paid from the profits that we make with OnPassive. So hopefully that straightens that out.
And the second part of my question is, how are we paid? Is it in cryptocurrency? Is it in regular money? And does it go to ACH, or do you have a wallet, or how are our profits going to be paid? And I have a part 3 to that question. As we find founders,
let me answer that one first.
Okay.
We will all be paid with a wallet in the back office, and there are 2 wallets there. There's a holding wallet and then another wallet. The holding wallet is for the fee, the monthly fee that we pay every month, and then the rest of the money will go into your O wallet. And once the money goes in there, you can withdraw that in a lot of different ways. You can withdraw it as Bitcoin. You can take it right to your bank. You really are in control of that. So however you want to do that, OnPassive will give you several different options to take your money out, because once the money hits the O wallet, the wallet that you can withdraw from, it's yours, and you can take it out by the minute, by the hour, by the day, by the week, by the month. It's really up to you. And OnPassive will have a lot of different options for you, and you can choose what you want to do with your money. What's the third question?
Okay, and the third one is, as we bring in founders, are we paid for bringing founders, or are we paid on our direct founder referrals from the $250 fee?
You know, as we look at founders right now, we're not in the soft launch yet. As you bring founders in, we don't get paid for anything. As founders, as I bring a founder in, share OnPassive, and they come in and join, I don't make anything off of that. But what I've done today in the pre-launch, as people come in and join my team, every time someone comes in, it is a different stream of revenue. It's a really, really big deal. And the money adds up very, very quickly when you have 2, 3, 4, 5 individuals on your team. Now, as we go into the soft launch, Ash is going to give us a bonus for bringing in additional founders, okay? And we believe that the founder cost as we go into the soft launch will probably double, we'll probably go up to around $200. Again, Ash hasn't told us, but that's what we think. And when we bring additional founders in at the soft launch, yeah, we'll make a little bit of bonus there, but the real money goes into the hard launch. And as OnPassive starts to sell the products of OnPassive, and these sales start to land underneath you and your team, the money compounds very, very quickly. That's why it's important, if you are a team builder, you don't have to be, to build a team of 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, whatever it is, because it does add those additional streams of revenue, which gets you to the place of taking care of those financial needs quicker. But we'll all get there, because OnPassive, as Charles and Marty said, it is 100% automated. I hope that helped.
It helped tremendously. And as we get customers, what's the average price you think a customer will have to pay on a monthly or annual basis to continue with the services?
Yeah, it's really going to vary depending on the product that they come in for. You might have a big corporation come in and get the O staff, which is an HR product, to manage all of their HR resources. And as you know, if it's a Fortune 500 company, these individuals today spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on managing their HR department, human resources department. Susie knows more about this than I do, but it's a massive amount of money. And what Ash is going to charge them for O staff, I don't know, but it'll be significant. And like Marty said, on-passive is selling value. And if we give these tools to individuals at a very, very low price, what's going to happen? Yeah, maybe it's $250, $300, whatever it is. But when you have 4.6 billion people coming in paying $300 a month, I really don't care what he charges.
Well, that makes sense. I thank you so much for answering my questions.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you, Gail, for joining us. We have a question in the chat. Why sign an NDA if you are still recruiting and need more founders? So maybe someone can explain a little bit more the purpose of the NDA.
Okay, so NDA just means non-disclosure agreement, right? So for you to be a founder, you are privy to proprietary information. So the NDA is for you to guard the company's secrets, right? So we don't want people coming in here, like I said in the presentation earlier on, we did not have an NDA, but some founders were unethical, right? Did some things that no company wants. So every company will protect its secret, right? So you're coming in, you are privy to secret information, and we have a CEO that is extremely available. I've never seen it in my entire life. He's super, super available. He's super, super transparent. So at times he will tell us things that are very, very private, and we don't want you taking these things out to the competition, okay? That's it.
Okay, thank you for that. We have some more people on the panel. We have I think I'm pronouncing that correct, C. Solomon. If you'd like to unmute yourself, TSEE, C. Solomon, if you'd like to unmute yourself and ask your question. Those of you who have raised your hand will be getting to you. If you raised your hand by mistake, you can lower your hand. Let's try Alibaba Emmanuel. If you are here and you'd like to ask a question, please unmute yourself. Alibaba Emmanuel. Okay, Alibaba, we'll go on to the next person and come back to you. Anil Raturi. Anil Raturi, if you'd like to unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay, we can see you, but we can't hear you. Can you unmute yourself, Anil? Go down to the mic. We can't hear you. You're muted. Go down to the microphone and unmute yourself. I'm going to ask. Okay, there you are. What's your question, and welcome?
Hello.
Hi, we can hear you.
Susie ma'am.
Question.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. We can hear you. What's your question?
Actually, I can't hear you.
Oh.
Okay,
Hello.
so,
can you hear me now? You cannot hear me?
he just muted himself. We'll go to. Can you hear us now?
Charles, the fault is not yours. Charles, the fault is not from your end.
I know, he's from his end, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to the next person.
Okay.
I guess you can write your question on the chat, Mr. Anil, and we'll respond to it.
You can't hear us, so maybe someone can type that in the
I
chat. Momodu Yalo, Momodu, if you would unmute yourself and ask your question. Momodu, I'm promoting a few more people here. Some people come on and then go off, but that's okay. Hello, Momodu. If you could unmute yourself and ask your question. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
I hope we can hear him with a mask on.
I know. Yeah, unmute yourself. Okay, there you are. Hello.
I said, I'm sorry, I don't have a question. Maybe my hand raised by mistake.
That's okay. It's good to see your smiling face.
I know. How you all doing?
having trouble bringing a few more people on for some reason.
Susie, we've got a question in the chat room from a realtor from Nigeria. He wants to know how he comes in doing passive. Just get with the individual that invited you to this webinar. They will give you a registration link and kind of guide you in how to sign up and that type of thing. But get with the person who invited you, get their registration link, sign up, pay the $97, sign the NDA, and you're good to go.
Okay, thanks, Mike. I'm bringing in a few. So someone, Ichu Kenneth is saying he's in Cameroon. Is there a contact in this part of the world? Would someone like to comment on his question about Cameroon?
Oh yes, we have a bunch of leaders in Cameroon doing a great job. We have a lady in Boya. I don't know where you are, Echu. We have a lady in Boya called Indeli, opposite University of Boya. We have a couple of leaders in Douala. Okay, we have Joseph Tala. We have JP Jean-Pierre. In Yaoundé, we have Marcia, we have Dr. Sado. So we have a few leaders in Cameroon, and they're actually having physical meetings like every couple of weeks. So once you become a founder, whoever invited you, let them know. We can put you in our links, in our group chats. We also have group chats for people specifically in Cameroon. Okay, so you won't be alone.
Okay, thank you. We have Krishna, your last name's Krishna. You're on if you would like to ask your question to the panel.
Yeah, madam. Good evening.
Good.
Yeah,
hello.
I'm from India, Hyderabad, madam.
How you doing,
Welcome.
sir? Hi, it's Hyderabad. Is the lockdown lifted? Are they people still on the streets, or that's still lockdown?
Yeah. It's hopefully up to 10th of this month, sir.
On the 10th of this month, then it will be lifted. Okay, we can't wait. Yeah.
Yeah, we are hoping we will extend it, but the time will be given up to 6 o'clock, I think, so evening.
Okay. So for those of you who are guests here, Hyderabad is where we have our technical office. So you see the picture behind me? That's in Hyderabad.
Yeah.
So Mr. Krishna is right from the source. So tell us, Mr. Krishna, are you a guest or a founder?
Yes, I'm a founder, sir. Founder.
Oh, well, I think it's good to have you here, but we want to take your question tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow we have founders only webinar at 2 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to take every question, and I really want to see you because I want to chat more about Hyderabad, okay?
No questions, sir, at least. Just I want to talk to you all. Nice to talk to you people, listening your webinars. Yeah, okay. Building more confidence in me.
All right.
Yeah, I went to our office. I went to our office in Hyderabad.
Okay.
It's
so
good.
You've been to the office. Good for you, right?
Yeah,
wow.
It's
how blessed you are.
Yes, thank you very much, sir, for giving me this opportunity.
Okay, no so Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the private founders only Q&A. We'll see you there. We have a Christopher Onu on the panel. If you'd like to unmute yourself, welcome, Christopher. Do you have a question for the panel?
Yeah, sorry. I want to know how much the founders will be earning when the soft launch goes on or the hard launch. I don't know which one.
Could you, Charles, do you want to answer that?
Christopher?
Sorry?
Are you a guest or you're a founder?
I'm a founder, and you made me to sign in, Charles.
Oh, okay, so why don't
I didn't even have a link. I threw you after listening to you last year, and I signed in, and I've been hearing no soft launch. I didn't see nothing. I want to know, and I signed all my family.
Okay, Christopher. Remember, we've said many times that this webinar is for guests only, and you decided to not pay attention to that. I just spoke with a guy, the Indian guy, and I told him we cannot take his question. He can come back tomorrow, but you decided to ignore all of that, correct?
Okay. Okay, I'm having trouble bringing more people on. For some reason, it brings them on. I'm going to look through the chat. What would UK pay in terms of pounds? That's a loaded question. I don't know if anyone wants to talk about for Mina. Yeah,
it just depends on the day because the currencies fluctuate. What you need to do is go to a place that will convert dollars to pounds. You'll find out what it is, and that's what you'll pay. Yeah, we can't tell you that. It fluctuates too much. It's like cryptocurrency. How much crypto will I have to pay to get into Unpassive? Well, we don't know because cryptocurrency fluctuates too much. So go to a conversion table. It'll tell you what you need to pay.
Okay, thank you, Mike. And just a reminder to everybody, this is, if you're a guest and this is the first time you're hearing all of this, we understand it's a lot to maybe digest. And our recommendation to you is to get back to the person who invited you. I mean, my recommendation is you sign up right away like I did and then start doing your homework. Because if you've caught just a whisper of the vision of today, you're going to want to jump on board. But we also understand that you may want to explore some more information. And the person who invited you does know different videos they can share with you or information they can share with you. So let's keep it simple, really. We don't want to complicate things. Once again, you can become a founding member of this IT, information technology, fueled by artificial intelligence that is in pre-launch. We'll be going into soft launch soon, where founders will be invited to help do some of the beta testing. And then we'll do hard launch, which will be launching to the world. Okay, so we're just trying to keep it simple. You pay $97 plus a processing fee of $5 via credit card, which we recommend to become a founding member. Once out of pocket, when we go into the official launch, you will pay once again out of pocket, somewhere around $200 or $250. And then your monthly fee, the beauty of this is your monthly fee comes out of the profits you earn from the company, not out of your pocket. How great is that? So we have Tony Henderson on. If you'd like to unmute yourself, Tony, and ask your question. Tony, how about Stella? Stella, you're on. If you'd like to unmute yourself, Stella, and ask your question. Hi, Stella. Welcome.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just two simple questions. The first is what we get paid when it takes off. Is it taxed before we're paid, or do we handle our own taxes? I'm in the US.
Can answer. Okay, I can answer that. I think, and somebody will correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
You're going to get paid, and taxes are not going to be withheld. It's going to be everyone's responsibility, depending on where they live, because we are global. That you will have access to what you have earned, and then what you're responsible for. But no, there will not be taxes withheld. I don't know if anyone else wants to comment on that. No? Okay, good. Stella, do you have another question?
Yeah. Are we paid in the currency of wherever we are? Like
yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Thank you.
And the beauty of how OnPassive is structured is that when your wallet is bringing in and filling up with your profit, you can withdraw that anytime, as many times as you want.
Okay.
As many times. It doesn't wait until the end of the month at all. It's in real time, and you don't get charged a fee, from our understanding. Anytime you want to withdraw, and you can withdraw that money, and I'm sure there'll be options for the currency and also what account you want the money to be transferred to. Okay. All right. She fell off. looks like Tony Henderson's taking a nap there in that picture. So, does anyone, some of these people are not coming in. Okay, let me try this person. We'll take a few more questions. Anyone's, okay, we have Raman Jula. If you would like to unmute yourself and ask your question. Raman Jula, hello. Okay, there we go. How are you? Welcome.
Yes, sir. Welcome, madam. I am very lucky enough to be a part of this program.
I keep hearing my name on something there.
Hello?
Yep, go ahead.
Yes, I am very lucky enough to be a part of this program, madam.
Are you a current founder?
Yeah, sure. That is, actually, I have nearly 10,000 plus founders I have.
Okay, this webinar is for our guests.
Yes.
And thank you for joining us, but our private founder question Q&A is on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay, Tony Henderson, we saw you unmute yourself. Tony, if you can hear us and unmute yourself and ask your question. Hi, Tony, if you could unmute yourself and ask your question. Hi, how are you? Welcome.
Hi.
Tony, do you have a question for the panel?
No, I have no question. As a matter of fact, I'm just an attendee right now.
Okay. Are you a guest?
Yeah, I'm just an attendee. I am a founder, and I'm on the island of Dominica, the Commonwealth of Dominica, nature island of the world over.
Okay, well, welcome. We're going to go on to the next person because this is for our guests, but thank you for joining us. We have a phone number 1202. You're appearing as a phone on our screen. So if your identification begins with 1202, please unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay. I'm going to try to bring a few more people on.
Hello.
Okay. Tony, if someone, we're all set with you, Tony. 259623.
This is Tony.
Okay. I think he's coming on in a few different ways. Tony, you're a current founder, so this is for guests only. We appreciate you joining us, but we're going to continue on asking our guests to come on and ask their questions. So if someone could help from the panelist end, and okay, great. 259623, I think that was him as well. So it seems like as I'm bringing people on, they're deciding not to come on. That's okay. If you have a question and you're shy and you don't want to be on, by all means, you can type it in the chat. We're going to see if we can get a few more people on. And if not, we're going to wrap this up. So Charles, I seem to be promoting people, but then they fall off. So
yeah, I think the whole Zoom thing is acting up because it's happening to me also.
Okay.
People are coming to the panel, but they're showing as if they're attendees, and it's just acting up.
Okay, so here's
the
the
problem
question.
with Zoom, not us. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we apologize if your hand is up. Go ahead and type your question in the chat. We have one. When is the proposed launch date for the on-passive solution? And when is the first dividend payment expected? If someone would like to answer that question.
Yeah, so again, we have in a matter of weeks, let me just put it this way. In a matter of weeks, we should be in soft launch, right? Because the products are being ready. Of course, we're going to be in soft launch in a matter of weeks. And during soft launch, we're going to be there anywhere from 2 to 12 weeks. So no less than 2 weeks, no more than 3 months, so to speak. So you do the math. If we get into soft launch in weeks, and we're not going to be there more than 3 months, okay? So we're going to be launching to the world by the end of this year, right? Remember, founders are customers. We are going to be the company's first customers. So if you have founders in your team on day of launch, it means you have customers from whom you get some commission. If you don't have any founders, that means you're going to have to wait for AI traffic to populate your team with customers. And that takes time, okay? It could take weeks before you start seeing some dividends. So dividends depend on you. You can pre-bill, get dividends from day one. You can wait for the system to build your team when they launch. You have to wait a few weeks before you can see some dividends. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Charles. We have Yolanda on the screen, Yolanda 93, BX. If you would like, please unmute yourself, Yolanda, and ask your question. We did have a question in here in the chat, and I've rerouted that person to come to our Founders Only Q&A on Monday. Yolanda, if you'd like to unmute yourself. Once again, we may be having some issues with bringing people on for questions. So if you do have a question, please go down in the chat. Oh, hi, Yolanda. How are you?
Hi, everyone. I just joined on 2 days ago, but I haven't gotten my email confirmation, and I only spent exactly $97. So I think I've heard already that it has to be 104. So that might be the problem.
How did you pay to become?
Cash
did you come? Cash App. Okay, Cash App is a third party, so it takes a few days. Okay, but you get back to the person who sponsored you. Okay, your sponsor, and they can reach out to one of us leaders to help you. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. And
Actually,
okay,
let me ask you this, Yolanda.
Oh, okay.
Yolanda, when you made that Cash App
Florida.
payment, did you put in your
Yeah.
email? Did you put in the email it's
Yes.
paying for? You did?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I sent it to the founder. You
No,
know,
no.
when I typed in who to send it to, I followed the directions and it said to passive, and then the founder's name came up. So I clicked on that and I sent it there, and I put my email as well.
Okay, well then just wait. You said 2 days ago. Just give it a few days.
Yeah.
I've seen the last one took about 4 days. So just give it a few days. You'll be fine. Okay.
Okay, and I'm from the Bronx by way of, I'm in Florida by way of the Bronx, New York. So.
Well, welcome. You made a smart decision to jump on board, and we're glad that we were able to answer your question.
I'm happy.
Okay, so let's see. I'm looking at some questions. Okay, one of the questions will be, you can handle that about founders and benefiting you. Please come if you are a founder. This is for guests only today. We do appreciate all the founders joining us. However, we have a private Q&A on Mondays, 2 p.m. Eastern time, where any of your questions, we don't stop until the last question is answered. So if you're thinking about joining, jump on board, do your homework, and come join us on Monday. You will learn a lot. I always learn something new. I've been in 1.5 years now, and I still learn something new. And get your questions answered, because we will have a very strong panel like we always do. So for those guests who joined us, please, please don't, don't wait on this. Get back to the person who invited you. Become a founder, sign your non-disclosure agreement. You'll have access to the back office. You're going to see some unbelievable videos and prior webinars that are recorded back there. You'll get to really meet our CEO, Ash Mufareh, and really understand more about him, his vision. Just listening to him speak, it is so, your level of belief is going to just keep going higher and higher and higher. Okay, we have Fitri. Fitri, if you could unmute yourself and ask your question. Someone asked Monday what time? 2 p.m. Eastern time, New York time. You will see that posted in the back office under webinars and our leadership council. So that's when that is. Hello, Fitri. Okay. So, Charles, what do you think?
I think we're done. So, guys, if we didn't get your question for whatever reason, I don't know, but we're going to have another one of these guest webinars on Tuesday. So if you have guests, if you're new, you're still trying to make up your mind, join us. And you'll hear another way of presenting the same opportunity that's going to blow your mind away. So Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, we have a founders only meeting again on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. For those of you who are guests here today, if you can become a founder before Monday, 2 p.m., you'll be allowed to attend that webinar, right? Because it is for founders only. And you will learn more, you will hear a lot. You may even get a chance to meet our CEO, right? Because he's been popping in quite a bit on Mondays. So you might get lucky again this Monday to see him. So do your very best to be there, right? And whenever he comes, he gives us some very pertinent updates, right? So,
yes,
guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend.
One last thing, Charles. I apologize for interrupting, but there is a question in the chat, and I want to put people's mind to ease for those of you who have seen this question. Miko wrote, a guy said he signed up last year and was asking when he will start to earn, and the panel didn't seem to like that question. This bothers me. So maybe someone can kind of reiterate what we've said about when founders will start earning. Mike?
Let me answer that real quick, and anybody else can jump in. That is a founder's question. We have a meeting Monday. Come on in Monday, ask the question, and we'll talk about that for an hour if you want. We're not dodging any questions here. Glad to answer your question. You are a founder. Come Monday, and we'll answer any question you have. And if we need to spend an hour on it, we'll spend an hour on it.
That's right, Mike.
By the way, so, I just said that somebody asked me and I just responded to it, as a matter of fact. So like Mike Ellis just said, we're not dodging questions. We just want founders to realize that there's a time and place for anything, right? So we have a time and a place for guests, a time and a place for founders, right? So come Monday, and there's going to be plenty of people there, leadership council members, to take any question that you have. Guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend, all right?
Okay. Thank you.